It is pretty obvious that gold is finding it hard breaking above the $2,074 region. As you can see, price is looking like it's creating something like a triple top around that area. So it is obvious price has been finding it difficult breaking above that zone. So each time price came there, the first attempt was 2020, the second attempt was in 2022, and the third attempt is in 2023. So each time price came there, you can see how price bounced off significantly. So last month when we came into this zone, we can see the massive rejection, and this month it looks like we are going further down. So what should we be looking for? We should be looking for bearish trading opportunity. However, price has been struggling, because I think I remembered like 3 to 4 weeks ago, I pretty much pointed out this zone where I said I would like to see price eventually take out this weekly level right here. Yes, it's obvious price is creating higher highs and higher lows on the weekly time frame, but due to the fact that price is finding it difficult breaking above the 2074 region, I pretty much projected that price will most likely take down the zone and continue pushing lower. So we stalled for a bit. We've been ranging. If we go to the daily time frame, you are going to see that range properly. We've been ranging around here for the past couple of weeks, and last week we finally broke below that range. So my projection on gold is for price to keep dropping all the way to the downside. All right, from here to 1871.46 is going to be my first region, my first take profit region. Then if we break below it, I'll look for a pullback. Then before we continue into 1800, right? Let's look at the daily time frame. What will look like on the daily time frame? On the daily time frame, it's obvious price is creating lower highs and lower lows, because if you see this low is lower than this, right? Price broke below this low, right? Broke below this low, came back for a pullback, though we ranged there, but eventually we've created a new lower low around here, and it looks like we've gone back for that retest. So I'll be expecting price to push lower into 1870 before we drop all the way to 1800 region here. So on the 4-hour time frame, you can see how price broke below the range. I mean, we've been ranging around here for quite some time. Price was trapped within this zone. Then we've eventually broken below that zone, creating series of lower lows, right? And price has effectively gone back for a pullback, and you can see the strong 4-hour candlestick with which we close for last week. So like I said earlier, for next week I'll be expecting continuous drop on this particular precious metal, but before that drop I'll be expecting a pullback. If we go to the 1 hour, I would like to see a pullback into between 1928 and 1927 region. I would like to see that. Will that definitely happen? No, I can't tell right now, but that is what I would like to see, because if we can get that pullback, for those that are not already in this trade, if we can get that pullback, that is a good area to sell. If price fails to come into that zone, and let's assume that we open for next week and price keeps dropping down, I would advise you wait for price to come into the zone on the 1 hour time frame, come into this area, this low here, and wait for price to break below it, creating a new lower low. Okay, that's the whole idea, creating a new lower low. Go back for a pullback before we continue dropping all the way to the downside. Because if you decide to sell here, where do you put your stop loss? Your stop loss will be in the open, right? Because ideally, if you jump into this trade here and you want to put your stop loss should be maybe above here, or maybe above here, since price has tested this zone multiple times looking left on the 1 hour time frame. So your stop loss will ideally be above here. So if you enter here, your stop loss will be out in the cold. And if you enter here and your stop loss is here, that will be too wide, right? So patience is required. Wait for price. Let's hope that price gives us that pullback. Then we can look for selling pressure here before we jump into the trade with a tighter stop loss and maximum reward, right? And if we fail to get that pullback, then wait for price to come and create a new lower low here, and then go for a pullback. Then we can put our stop loss above here before jumping on the trade. There's still enough space to the downside, so you can afford to be patient. If you've made it this far, kindly hit the subscribe button, like, comment, and share this video so that it can go viral. I would appreciate it if you can do that for me, guys. Now let's continue. JPY index has been collapsing, and you know where I predicted this collapse from, right? since the break of this trend line on the daily time frame. So I've basically been predicting the total collapse of JPY index from this zone all the way down to this zone. So it's such a massive move because this is the weekly time frame. Between this zone to this zone is quite a massive move. I'm actually swinging GBPJPY at the moment, so I'm in significant profit. So now let's look for trading opportunities for next week. Let's come to the daily time frame. So as you can see, price is totally down. Like I said earlier, I predicted this collapse all the way from here. So obviously you can see the proof of where I predicted this collapse all the way from this zone to this zone. So it looks like we've created a new lower low, but I'm still seeing this weak here, which gives me concern, all right? Because this is the lowest JPY index has been, I mean, based on our chart right here, right? So anything can happen in this zone. So I'd like to see price give us a new lower low, break clean of this zone. Then when we go back for a pullback, then we can now swing again for maybe 1 or 2 weeks. So now that we've seen the direction of JPY index, let's quickly take a look at some JPY pairs, starting with USDJPY. USDJPY last week, I remember pinpointing 144.929 as my next level target, and obviously price is headed towards that zone. If we go to the daily time frame, my initial take profit target was 142.130, which I labeled next level target here. I also talked about expecting price to break out of this 142 region into 144, and it looks like price is headed there. So for next week, I'll be expecting price to come into 144.929. All right. If you're not already in this trade, now how do we join this trade? Let's look at the 4-hour time frame. The 4-hour time frame is completely bullish, creating higher highs and higher lows, higher highs. All right, so I'll be expecting a higher low at some point, but on this 4-hour time frame, I can't spot any zone I'll be expecting pullback into, so that we can continue the bullish momentum into 144.929. But let me look at the 1-hour time frame. On the 1-hour time frame, do we have any trend line I can look at? Let's do something like this. Okay, as you can see, I've made sure I captured here, here, and here, right? So I don't think price is going to drop all the way down into this trend line. If that happens, then that would be a good area to buy. But if that doesn't happen on the 1-hour time frame, let's still go to the 15 minutes time frame and look for areas where we could see pullback into, then take advantage of this trade. I will just plot a zone here. I will box 2 zones in here, 1 and then 2. So I'll be expecting pullback into this zone before I go bullish, or into this zone, all right, before I go bullish into 144.929, all right. So you can plot this zone on your 15 minutes time frame and on the 1-hour time frame. Plot that trend line on this trend line on the 1-hour time frame, just like I did on the 1-hour time frame. You can rewind to see the zones I captured, or come to the 15 minutes time frame and box these 2 zones in. Now, we don't just execute when price come into our zone, right? We want to execute using some rules, right? There are some types of candlesticks we want to see. We want to see some chart patterns before we take advantage of this trade. If you don't know how to do that, we still have some space available in our academy. So just choose any of the mentorship programs available there, make your payments, and you'll be able to execute trades like I do. All right. So let's continue. USDJPY, this is what my projection looks like. So on GBPJPY, I'm actually swinging GBPJPY, but let's look for trading opportunities for next week. GBPJPY, if you've been watching my videos, you know how I have been completely bullish on USDJPY. And some weeks ago, I actually predicted price coming into this, let me put my mouse there, this 194.611 price region. And it looks like we are headed there, right? So eventually at some point, I know price will not keep going straight into this target, but at some point we are going to come into that price area, right? So price will definitely go higher, consolidate, go higher before we finally come into that zone. But on the long term, I'm expecting to see price come into 194 region, 194.156 at least for a start. Then if we go to the weekly time frame, on the weekly time frame, it is also obvious price has been completely bullish. I don't even have anything to say on the weekly time frame. Let's go to the daily time frame. On the daily time frame also, you can see price is completely bullish. Let's look for trading opportunities for those that are not already in this trade. Anyways, I have been swinging this trade from here. This was my entry entry point around here, and my stop loss was very tight because I actually executed this on the 15 minutes time frame. And as you can see, as a last week, I was floating 30 on this single trade alone. Oh, I love swing trading. So now I'm currently floating 39 to 1 reward to this on this single trade alone. All right, so GBPJPY has done me well this month, I won't even lie. So for next week, I'll be expecting continuous bullish push to the upside on GBPJPY. Let me go to the 1 hour time frame so that we'll look for trading opportunity if you are not already in this trade. So I have scanned through the 4 hour, the 1 hour, and the 15 minutes time frame. I can't really see a zone where we can join this trade. So I'll be watching this pair closely next week so that if there's any updates where to rejoin this trade, I'm going to call your attention to it, guys. So pardon me, I'm just going to skip GBPJPY for now. The dollar index on the monthly time frame is ranging. Since the 1st of February 2023, price has been moving sideways. As you can see, there's a bullish, there are some couple of bearish candlesticks, there's a bullish, and this month is still painting a red candle. So we've pretty much been moving sideways on the dollar index. You are going to see clearly if we go to the weekly time frame. On the weekly time frame, you can see that we are stuck above this trend line and below this resistance above. So price is going up and coming down, going up and coming down. Here we have failed to create a new higher high, and below we are creating higher lows, right? So where will the dollar go to eventually? Well, I can't really tell now, but overall, if I squeeze out this chart, you can see that we are overall in a bullish trend. So that simply means if we take out this highs here, if we can create a new higher high, then price is going to rally all the way to the upside. And if we come here and reject it once more and eventually break below this trend line, then dollar index is going to drop into this next level target. So for now, we are stuck within this box. So let's look for trading opportunity for the next coming week. Now we've closed this previous week with this engulfing bullish candle. So I most likely will be expecting a continued bullish price action come next week. Now, if we go to the daily time frame, you can see that we're completely bullish throughout this month. We only had one bearish day. Sorry, did I say months? Throughout last week, rather. You can see we only had one bearish day throughout last week. So the other days were super bullish. So like I said, from the weekly time frame perspective, on this daily time frame perspective, I'll also be expecting further upward movement. So if we go to the 4 hour time frame, price has broken out. Price is creating higher highs and higher lows. You can see the higher low. You can see this new higher high breaking above this previous high here. So for the incoming week, I'm just going to put this here. I'm going to do this. So I'll most likely be expecting price to pull back into one of these regions before going and breaking above this zone. So for next week, in a nutshell, I'll be expecting price to break above this zone and continue higher into where, I don't know. But one thing I know is that we are going to be bullish for next week. All right. So now that we've seen what is happening on the dollar index, let's quickly take a look at euro dollar. Euro dollar on this file, just stick to the 4 hour time frame, or let me even check out how we closed for last week. Last week we closed with a bearish candle. However, in my last week's video, I was actually expecting price to come into this resistance, right? But that didn't happen, and it looks like we have closed the week with a red candle. Not looks like, we've actually closed the week with a red candle. So we may most likely see a continuous bearish trend. This is the daily time frame. Nothing much really happened last week. As you can see, we technically moved sideways, all right, swing up, swing down. So if you bought or sell at some point and you were properly aligned with the market, I believe you made money. So in my last week's video, I actually predicted that price was trading around here in my last week's video. So I was like, okay, if we take out this zone, retest it, then I will expect continuous push to the upside. Or if that doesn't play out, I would like to see price drop into this level before going higher. So initially, price dropped into that level and now gave a confirmation to go higher. However, we didn't come into that my resistance. Instead, we've created a new lower low, breaking below this low. And it looks like we've gone for a retest. So for next week, I'll still be expecting a further decline, at least into 1.08225. All right. I'll be expecting a further push to this zone. I don't know how far we'll go down below, but my initial projection for next week is for price to move from here into this next level target, which once more is 1.08225. 231. All right. So that's Euro USD in a nutshell. Let's quickly take a look at GBP USD. GBP USD on the weekly, from the weekly perspective, we also closed last week with a bearish candle. And as you can see, if I zoom out on the weekly time frame, we are still obviously creating higher highs, higher lows, higher highs, higher lows, and a new higher high. But if we go to the daily time frame, last week I was like, I'll be expecting price to pull back down into this zone before we go bullish. But with what dollar index is doing, I'll be looking at two possibilities now. If we fail to pull back from this zone into this upward area here, then I would like to see price take out this trend line that I have plotted here. I made sure I captured here, here, and here, right? So price has respected this trend line historically. So if we break below this support area here, if we break below this support area here, then I would like to see price take out this trend line. So if price takes out this trend line, I would like to see price drop all the way to at least 1.8547. That would now mean all this push to this break of this structure here will now be a fake out. That is if we eventually take out this trend line. So if we take out this trend line, I would like to see price come into 1.18656. And if we respect this zone or this trend line to the upside, then I would like to see price come into 1.31747. Now let's go to the 4-hour time frame. Like I said, on the 4-hour time frame, our price, my initial expectation is to see price come into here, this other block here. All right, this other block here, I would like to see price come into this other block here before we go to the upside all the way into 1.31747. But what happens if we fail to respect this other block? Then if price breaks below here, then we'll go back down. All right, we'll go back down at least into 1.25014. That's what I'll be expecting. So if you remember last week, I actually predicted this drop to the downside on the 15 minutes time frame. I remember telling you guys that I will be looking for sells below here, right? And that was exactly what price did. Price broke below there, gave us a retest, and we've been dropping ever since to the downside. All right, so that is my analysis on GBP USD in a nutshell. The other pairs I didn't analyze in this video, I'm going to be analyzing them on the Telegram channel. So the link to the Telegram channel is in the description of this video down below. Take your trading to the next level with our mentorship programs. Visit letstrade10x.com for more info. Come join the League of Profitable Traders. Stop giving your hard-earned money to the brokers and prop firms for free. You should be taken from them as a matter of fact. Thanks for staying to the end of this video. Have a successful trading week, and I'll see you in our next video. Bye.